Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to take this thing apart. The Smith&Wesson FPC folding carbine. Alright, let's take our straps off, take the gun out. Here's our gun. First thing you want to do is make sure there's nothing in the magazine. Pop our magazine out. It's empty. Pull the slide back. She's empty. Magazine off to the side. Very first thing you want to do is remove these two magazines. Now, this knob or bolt, I wouldn't call it a bolt, I'd call it a knob. You have to pull this up and the end will slide right off. And it's going to, it takes a little bit of strength to do it, guys. I think I have more strength in my right hand. There we go. So it is spring loaded. There is a spring inside here. Let me shed some light on this subject. Alright. And that's what your inside looks like. Set that off to the side. Now, the second thing you want to do is this little rod here, this little silver rod, or what's the correct name for that, guys? It's not a rivet. Now, what you want to do is, where you're holding this plunger cap, because this is spring loaded. So you want to hold that down with your thumb and you want to push this out. Okay. Let's show you that. This little, I guess you can call it a pivot maybe. It's the same on both sides. Put that off to the side. Here is the plug that goes on the end. It's also the same on both sides. Let's remove our recoil spring. This is also the same on both sides. Put that off to the side. Now, what you want to do is you want to slide the bolt back until you'll see a little pin that will appear in that opening. Okay, slide it all the way back like that. See where that pin is? Now put your hand underneath there because that's going to drop out when, hey, get back there. That's going to drop out when you turn this upside down. Okay. Okay, here's the pin that drops out. Put that off to the side. Now here's your bolt with the firing pin in it, and this is, I guess you could call this your plunger or your plunger thrust device. So when you, okay, now it's empty. Now you can also remove this too. This will come back like this, comes up and off, and that's what the inside of that looks like. So let's put this back on. And now you see how, now let's give you a little bit more light here, guys. See how in here, how the groove goes in and under these grooves. So the way this goes back on is those grooves got to go inside of that, like that. See, so you're going to do that. See where the opening is here? Don't force it, because this is plastic. So it goes in. We'll do that once more. And if you bring this all the way forward like this, it locks. So there's that little tab right there. Press that down with your finger, and then unlock it. All right, now let's put this back together. Let's take our bolt assembly and the plunger. All right, take our bolt assembly. And what you want to do, the flat part is going south. Flip her upside down. Now, what you want to do is, where that hole is, you're going to see a hole in the plunger. You can see the hole there. I'm going to line the hole up in the tube and the hole in that metal plunger, and take that small pin with the small side facing up and just drop that right in there. Just like that. And it should slide freely. Now, this bolt here, the bolt assembly, is resting against the face of the hammer. So Smith&Wesson recommends that you tap that down with preferably a broom handle stick like this. Put it in here like that. And we're going to tap on the end of this with a hammer. Not really a forcible tap, just a slight tap, guys. And push that the rest of the way through. And as you can see, the bolt is fully closed. Now you want to take your recoil spring, put that in, get your pivot pin ready, use your strongest hand, make sure that hole in that plunger is lined up with the hole on the outer assembly. Now mine, it has to go in all the way through. That's no good like that. Okay. Has to be nice and even on both sides like that is. And lastly, take our butt, and that's that. Put our magazines back in. Give her a little test. Drop our magazine, I'll test her again. And there you go. Like I said, when you put in the bolt assembly, it rests against the hammer. That's why you get you preferably get a broom handle stick, maybe. What is this, guys? Maybe 20 inches long. Give it a slight tap with a hammer. You don't have to really bang it hard, guys. Just a little tap, and that pushes the bolt over the hammer, and it's fully assembled.